Just as Chelsea's form was causing me enough pain, I've been relegated into Tier 4. Thanks, Boris. Yo, what's happening, people? How's it going? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I hope you're all doing well today, mate. I really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News, the daily series here on Football Therapy, where basically I react to Chelsea news. Couple of stories I want to talk about today. Timo Werner comes out and breaks silence on his poor form. He said some pretty interesting things, which I want to read to you on today's video. And also, The Athletic have exclusively reported that Reece James has had a scan, he's got an injury, and he might need surgery. Anyway, hopefully this video is going to be insightful and entertaining, so consider subscribing if you need a football therapy. Daily content, of course, regarding Chelsea Football Club. You might like it, mate, and also, if I could ask, please do drop a like on this video, because it helps me out in turbulent times. Alright then, let's get into today's video. Before we talk about the Reece James injury, let's talk about Timo Werner. He did an interview with Chelsea, and he talked about his recent form coming to a new country, because we all know Timo Werner has been frustrating of late, not for a lack of effort, but perhaps just being or having a lack of concentration, and that's been evident in his poor, perhaps combinational play in the final third, and of course missing a few sitters. I'm going to read you a quote from this interview Timo Werner did with Chelsea to give you some context of how he's feeling regarding his form. The beginning was very good. Now, a little bit after a lot of games, I don't know if it's normal, but I'm struggling a little bit. There are a lot of games at the moment, and I think there's some chances I've missed 2 or 3 weeks ago that were not the best thing. But I think when you are new to a country and league, it's always a little bit hard to adapt, and it should be no excuse. I should try to do my best to be the best footballer that I can be in this league, and I think that I'll adapt well. Right, so that's pretty interesting. Off the bat, Timo Werner sat down and been like, look guys, you know it, I know it. I am in poor form and I'm missing chances. And he's throwing his hands up and said, look, new league, new everything, but I don't want to use this as an excuse, and I'm going to be the best I can be. Now, I wanted to read this out, and I wanted to quote this, because sure, it sounds like generic, oh yeah, elite mentality, but the thing is, I, like many Chelsea fans, looks quite a lot into Timo Werner prior to him signing for Chelsea when we knew it was going to happen. I listened to a lot of stuff Raphael Honigstein had to say about Timo Werner, and apparently, this guy legitimately has an elite mentality. Something Honigstein said is, you will never find controversy with Timo Werner. He's just professional, he works incredibly hard, and he's always trying to be the best he can be. Whether that's for Stuttgart, Leipzig, Germany, or now Chelsea, this is the case when it comes to the German. So it's positive. I really like how he said, look, I'm missing chances. You know I am. I'm used to scoring a lot of goals, because Timo Werner is a gunman. He scores loads of goals. We haven't transferred Morata, who never really... Do you remember when we got Morata? He didn't really play any first team football for a long period of time. He was never a number one striker. We took a massive risk on him. He was a number one striker at Chelsea, and it didn't suit him. The pressure didn't suit him, and he didn't bang loads of goals. Timo Werner is used to being the man, the goal scorer, scoring loads of goals at his young age too, so marry that with his elite mentality, and I'm feeling a little bit more confident that we will be okay moving forwards with Timo Werner. Frank obviously sees loads of positives in him, and to be honest, I'm not that worried. Anyway, let's move on to the next story and talk about Reece James. So yes, Reece James, potentially our player of the season. He's been immaculate of late. Has got an injury, and he's certainly out for West Ham, and it could be a lot longer if he does need surgery. Simon Johnston of The Athletic reported on this. I'm going to read you a couple of extracts from it, but I do always urge you to go and check out The Athletic. Chelsea right back Reece James went for a scan on a knee injury Saturday, and is now a major doubt to face West Ham at Stamford Bridge on Monday night. James has started 11 of Chelsea's 13 Premier League games, and the problem has come at a bad time for head coach Frank Lampard. Chelsea have lost their last 2 Premier League games and are 9 points behind league leaders and defending champions Liverpool. Right, so that's really bad and frustrating. Let's go on and read about the injury. Chelsea are still waiting for the results of the scan to come back, but The Athletic have been told that James has been dealing with this issue in his knee in recent matches. The Athletic understands James felt greater pain and fluid in his knee during training on Saturday, which led to the decision for him to undergo the scan. So in terms of how long he'll be out, it depends on how severe the injury is, if he needs the operation. If he undergoes knee surgery, he's going to be out for weeks and weeks, right? Surely knee surgery, invasive surgery, is going to keep you out a lot. Either they do that or they try and manage him for a few more games, bringing him in and out. But what I think, it hurts, but just go and get the knee surgery. I say that because we have a deputy, or a captain, Azpilicueta, to come in and play right back really well. Like really well. You know, not as creative, not as offensive and exciting as Reece James, but Azpilicueta is such a professional and he's a decent right back. You trust him defensively just as much as Reece, and maybe a little bit more than Reece James. And if Hakim Ziyech is back on the right wing, that's enough to light up that flank a little bit more of that left boot. Azpilicueta can get forward a bit better now as a right back. Remember, he puts those diagonals in. If it is Oli Giroud starting up front, he might be able to get on a few of those. Even if he doesn't quite get chalk on his boots to the byline like Reece James does, if Hakim Ziyech has returned as a winger, Chelsea will be in much better shape. Honestly, man, even though it could be okay, and we should be alright against West Ham, this isn't a match preview. I will do a match preview for West Ham, so don't worry about that. But I wanted to talk about these two things because I felt really good and positive from Timo Werner's words, only to be brought down by the tragedy of this Reece James injury. It's very, very frustrating, and it does feel like when it rains, it pours at the moment for Chelsea Football Club. Do you know what I mean? But it's alright. Chelsea have got Azpilicueta. Obviously, they've got they're fine in the left-back position with Chilwell and Emerson. Who knows? Maybe Livramento will come in. He's been in scintillating form for the youngsters. Maybe he gets a bench appearance with this new extended bench. It could happen. Frank, Jody and Joe are probably looking at the youngsters at the moment to find other options in this really congested period, especially if players like Reece James are going to be out for a while, to join the rotation of our injuries that seemingly were just wingers up until this point, which was obviously very bad for the side. Anyway, but what do you guys think? How do you reflect on both these stories? The positivity around Timo Werner's words and his mentality and his reaction to his poor form, and of course Reece James out potentially needing surgery. So frustrating, but hey, we move. You know, the Premier League is absolutely mental at the moment. Just look at today's games and yesterday. Loads of crazy stuff going on. Oh yeah, Liverpool look good, don't they? We're not going to get into that now. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Please do like the video if you've enjoyed the content, and consider subscribing if you're new. Enjoy the football, and I'll see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me baby.